Davis right outside the masn telecasting booth, and we're going to walk right inside here as we see Mike Bordick and Gary Thorne preparing for this big doubleheader. And again, as I walk around here, I just want to let everybody know this is where they stand when they come on the air before the game starts. And of course, a lot of preparation goes into the game, and I'm going to sneak by here and begin with Gary Thorne. Gary, let's talk a little bit about a doubleheader. You don't get a chance to do too many doubleheaders. Is it more preparation than
Thank God. Well, the trouble is you don't have any time between games 1 and 2. It's when you have the split doubleheader, at least you got an hour or so to get things back together again and figure out who's where. But with 25 minutes or even less, the problem's just getting ready for game 2. Game 1's fine, but game 2 can be a hassle.
I see you got a custom scorecard there. I mean, did you invent that one for yourself?
No, my scorebook's from Bob Murphy, my radio broadcast partner with the New York Mets when I first broke in. Bob had a book that he'd put together 50 years ago, and I copied it, put it together, and so I've used it ever since. Obviously,
The Orioles have struggled a little bit earlier, and now they've won 3 straight games. How more difficult is it to do a game when they're behind early?
Well, I honestly, I've never thought that it's that hard for a broadcaster, because for me the game's the game, and whatever's going on is what you're calling. The trouble is you got some tensions going on around the ball club when it's losing. Everybody's kind of on edge, so you kind of have to be careful what you say because it can be taken the wrong way. Everybody's thinking about negatives, so that's the only thing I think about when they're losing. Is just try to stay away from that. Be truthful about what's going on, but don't say things that someone might take as being adverse.
How's it working with Mike Bordick?
Well, that's another story. I will say this. Hang on just a minute now. See, the great advantage of working with Mike Bordick is his wife, Monica.
Oh.
She has a Maine heritage. This is called a whoopie pie. And when you're from Maine, it's one of the greatest things that ever happens in the world. I love whoopie pies. I've eaten them my whole life. I think my mom made them every week she lived. It was always available in the pantry. And Monica sends these in to us. So I love Mike Bordick.
And we know you love ice cream, too, right?
Yeah, ice cream will go with this, too. You can do that if you want.
So, Mike, you won him over.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. My wife won him over. My wife did, for sure.
Let's talk a little bit about how you prepare. Obviously, you're not doing the play-by-play, so it's a little bit differently for you. Explain.
Yeah, you know what? Generally, to get a feel, I think, for each team, how they're playing, really starts my preparation. Obviously, writing out the lineup card and things like that, but there are focus points, who's a hot player, who's not. And generally, like following our team this year, there have been some down times, and then, of course, some seriously good times like we're in right now.
How about some of the things that you're looking for in a game that you might be thinking about before the game as they develop to analyze?
Well, I think paying attention to players who are hot and who aren't, that's basically a storyline and how the team's playing. As an analyst, though, I think I kind of tend to lean more towards the coaching side. If I see a fundamental positive thing, I'll try to point that out, I guess, as a hitter or even an infielder if they're in a good position. And then conversely, the negative approach to a fundamental. But if a player makes just a seriously athletic play, you just kind of just make the player, highlight the player, his athleticism. So the game and plays like that kind of take on their own meaning.
How much does it help you, the fact that you're still in uniform sometimes before the game, throwing batting practice and things like that?
Oh, man, I'm one of the luckiest, I think, analysts in the game. Buck Showalter's been so great, giving me that luxury to be on the field at times, full spring training. So, I know a few things that are going on. I'm certainly not going to share some of the stuff that happens in the locker room. But on the field, I just like watching and being around the way players work. The coaching staff, what the time they put in, the players they put into their craft, and it makes it a lot more easy for me to stay positive even when a team is down.
Well, Mike Bordick's got a lot of work to do, preparation, and we're going to go back downstairs in just a moment. We appreciate Mike and Gary talking with us.